Hello, everybody. I hope all is well. I am Demetra K. And again, I hope you're having a great day. I should say that the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also, thank you so much to my wonderful moderators for all that you do in holding down the comment section. Sorry, I'm a little late today. Hey, Mad Dog, how you doing? I just was running around, just had a lot of things to do, but I shouldn't make excuses. But yeah, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to get out of here at in 45 minutes as well as because I got some other stuff to do. I don't care about that. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Black Americans are now accused of being the new racists. It's like, I didn't know that we could be, but I'll show y'all a video and then we'll get into the dynamics of that. And we'll see if we are now the new racists. And I guess we'll have to figure out why we're being called that. Again, I'll show y'all a video. So who else we have on here? Troy, how you doing? Thank you for joining me once again, as I saw you earlier on African Diaspora News Channel. And I'll be there tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Thanksgiving. Again, I don't celebrate, but if y'all want to join me for a short conversation, it'd be my pleasure. So that's tomorrow. Evermore, how you doing? Albie Chill, nice to see you again as well. Sister Shirley, same here. Evermore says, why what? Why am I going to be on tomorrow? Is that what you're saying? African Native, how you doing? Hope you're having a beautiful evening. Tanya, how you doing? Long time no see. And you say people call us, Sister Shirley said, people call us everything if it's different from what they like. We're going to see. We're going to spend about 45 minutes trying to get to the bottom of why we are now the new racists. When I saw this video, I was like, oh, really? Interesting. So I said, I'll see what they're talking about. Sharon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Absolutely African Native. So anyway, it is the day before Thanksgiving. Again, I don't celebrate, but to those of y'all who do, I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Most people spend it with their families and things like that. My family mostly is in California. I have no family at all here in Texas. It's just my daughter and myself. So we just kind of do nothing. I'm going to try to go to the gym before it closes because it's going to close early tomorrow. So that's really my main objective, and do the show and do nothing because there's nothing to do tomorrow. But again, I will not begrudge anybody of what they choose to do, because I know sometimes people like to judge people. Oh, you're celebrating Thanksgiving. Oh, you pagan, you heathen, you this, you that. It's like, man, get off the gas. Right? If people want to celebrate holidays or whatever, that's their business. Ain't got nothing to do with you, And unbeknownst to us, they be having a little turkey leg themselves. So anyway, Jane, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Evermore says, now, why are we considered the new races just because we don't want to communicate or be around them? We'll get into it. Tanya says, we live rent-free in others' minds. Yes, indeed. Don't believe media. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right, you don't celebrate it either. Hunter, how you doing? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it for the sake of time. Again, I apologize for being a little bit tardy here. So anyway, I came across this video on TikTok. It's I'm not sure where he's from. Somewhere, maybe the continent of Africa. I'm not sure. So don't quote me. Maybe some of y'all could figure it out. But he has some words for Black Americans. Y'all ready? Kevin, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Here we go. Lauren, what's going on with you?
I know you guys would not like to hear this one, but hey,
what? Hey,
Black Americans are the new racists. Take it or leave it. They are the new racists, bro. They hate the Mexican. They hate the Black people. They hate the African. They just hate everybody. They be saying some racist to people all the time. It's not the white folks no more. It's the Black American now, the new racists, bro.
All right, so that was brief. I'll let y'all hear it again because it was so brief. So here we go.
I know you guys would not like to hear this one, but hey,
what? Hey,
Black Americans are the new racists. Take it or leave it. They are the new racists, bro. They hate the Mexican. They hate the Black people. They hate the African. They just hate everybody. They be saying some racist to people All the time. It's not a white folks no more. It's a black
Oh,
American now, the new racist, bro.
Okay, so you heard him. For whatever reason, he has deemed Black Americans to be the new racists, and I can ascertain if I think about it just long enough. So just to reiterate, he says, we are the new racists. It's no longer white people, right? That's what he said at the end. He says, we hate Mexicans, we hate Africans, we just hate everybody. And he says, we could take it or leave it. So whether we like it or not, he is deeming Black Americans to be the new racists. Okay, so then when you think about racism, because we often hear, you know, Black Americans, you could be racist too. And then we have pushback saying, no, we can't. So there are two technical definitions of racism. And the first one is what they consider to be the traditional definition, which says racism, individual hatred, prejudice, discrimination based on race. Now it says under this definition, anyone, Black, white, Latino, Asian, etc., can be racist if they act with racial hostility, stereotypes, or discriminatory intent. So let's see. It says anybody could be racist, including Black people, under that term. Now, the sociological academic definition basically says Black Americans, as historically oppressed group lacking systemic power in America's institutions, can have prejudice but cannot enforce it structurally the way white supremacy has. So basically, we don't own institutions and things like that. We do not rule over a whole group of people or affect the way they live or behave in any way, shape, or form, because right now we just don't have the means to do that. So the technical term, like, yeah, I don't like you because you're white or whatever. Okay, in that term, but it's really based on prejudices and discriminatory measures, which most people are prejudiced, right? Prejudice means that you have a preference for something, or if you discriminate, I don't prefer that. So yeah, people could be that all day long, but the academia definition, no, we cannot be racist. And so I think when people say those things, they are basing it off of some of the things that we say. But then let's break it on down. Why would we be accused of being racist? Because Black Americans weren't really accused of being racist, in my opinion. I don't know, I could be wrong. Until maybe the last 10 years. I mean, we have it, but not like now. And you have to take into account like what's going on. Well, for the most part, Black Americans have started to, for one, delineate. Again, delineation is not new. It's been around for a long time, but I think more Black Americans are grasping the concept, right? Delineation means, okay, we're going to leave y'all alone. We're going to get together, because that's what it truly means. It don't mean that we're just cutting people off. It also means that we are distancing ourselves from other groups, but we are working on ourselves as well. So, of course, that conversation comes into play when you talk about something like politics, right? Black Americans have started to say, well, there's nothing in it for us to, let's say, continue to vote for the Democrats, because the Democrats help everybody else, probably people, his people, right? But they don't help Black Americans. And so a lot of us have decided to say, get them to do it, okay? So some may deem that to be hateful now or racist. When you think about Black Americans who are for the mass deportations, a lot of people deem that to be racist, because you guys of all people should understand, how we feel. It's like, well, we're here legally, so it doesn't really apply to us, like that. But if we express that, hey, we're not mad at the mass deportation going on, because that actually helps us, because our votes, unfortunately, have made mass immigration possible, especially by the Democrats. So when we say, okay, we're not really cool on that anymore, we get called racist. Or when Black Americans say, hey, we've been putting up with this, that, and the other, but now we're just not going to anymore, for whatever group you're from, we get called racist. But the truth of the matter is, people who call Black Americans, like this guy, the new racist, they're just seeing us wake up and say, it's not necessarily that we hate you, but we are going to get together amongst ourselves, or you can no longer benefit off of our blood, sweat, and tears while we don't benefit off of it. That's really what we're saying. We're tired of being a benefactor for everybody else except for ourselves. And so they're starting to feel that, especially a lot of the illegal immigrants, in regards to the whole ICE situation. Of course, right when Trump got into office, we heard a lot of people say, where are the Black Americans? Where the Black people at? They not out here, protesting this, all this other stuff. And we've said, hey, depending on why you're not doing it, the 92% said they're not doing it because Kamala didn't win. A lot of us are saying we're not doing it because I really never done it. And a lot of us are saying that's not really our issue, right? Nobody comes to our issues at all. We have been used to running into everybody else's burning building with our little 2 drops of water. Psh, there you go. And then our building burns. And then when we say, hey, now that we've helped you put your building out, can you come help me with my house? Oh, no, I can't do that. No, I'm not interested in aligning with the Negro. Let him fight his own battles. Let him put his own fire out. It was like, wait a minute. But we've helped you. We helped put your fire out, and your house catches on fire quite a bit. And guess what? We as Black Americans, we run right over there and give you our little 2 drops of water, and we get nothing in return. So now, I guess we're being considered the new racist, because it's not, again, that we're racist. Other people are not allowed to use us as a term like the whipping boy. We're not the whipping boy as much of races anymore. Everybody else has benefited from us but us. And now we're saying, no. As my older brother Walter says, he says, when I want to tell somebody no, I just say, I'm not in a position to do that anymore. And it leaves the person kind of messed up like, so is that a no or is that a yes? What do you mean you're not in a position to do that anymore? I'm just not in a position to do that no more. Okay. So we're really not. As Black Americans, we're not. We've not been in a position to do that ever. That it being helping everybody else to our detriment, because it has been to our detriment. Again, I'm speaking for myself. I don't hate anybody else. I really don't. It's all love. But as a Black American, I gotta love, first of all, me, and then I gotta love Black Americans, because Black Americans, as it's been said, especially by people like Dr. Claude Anderson, we are at the bottom of the totem pole. And it has a lot to do with how we go about life, how we vote, how we spend our money, just how we see us and how we see other people. We have been taught that everybody else outside of Black Americans are more important. It's just something we've been taught, probably from the plantation, from Massa has taught us we don't matter. You take every and anything we do to you, and when you get to heaven, you'll be washed white as snow, but you obey the Massa and all that. And so some of that we just kind of carry from there, but now we're educating ourselves. Again, this is not about anybody else, because for me, it does us no good to just hate everybody else and not have it be about us at all. So yeah, it's not that we're racist. We've just saying, hey, y'all go make it do what you do, and we're going to do the same. So anyway, I want to see what you guys have to say about that. And thank you for bearing with me here. Woo! Going all the way back up to the top. Jane, did I say hi to you? If not, hello. Lauren says 12 jurors unanimously found Trump guilty of 9 felonies. 9 jurors unanimously found him liable for abuse. Trump shouldn't forget about them. He needs to get retribution on those individuals. Well, I don't know. Did he do those things? I don't know. If he did those things, then he shouldn't be absolved of those things. I don't know. But jury found him guilty of that. Now I know some of that is, speculated as a witch hunt. I don't know, but you kind of heard him say on a hot mic that, hey, just go up to him and grab him right around. So I don't know. Tony, how you doing? So they didn't want to take accountability, so they're trying to project on to FBAs. Yeah, I just think it's been easy for everybody else to do, just to blame Black Americans. It's their fault. Now we're the new races. We have absolutely no power or control over any other group, not even, people from the continent, Caribbean, nobody. We don't have any control over anybody, but because they don't like what we say, or that we're kind of just changing the way we do things, now we're racist. I don't know. Sal, how you doing? I hope I said that right. 44. Let's see. DJ Specs, what's going on with you? He says he can go home. Yeah, and I think he's in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. So he is over here in Minnesota. Mr. South Carolina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hunter says the Mexicans hate us. Yeah, well, he says we hate Mexicans and everybody else. I don't know anybody who hates Mexicans. but it's sure not true the other way around. Not all Mexicans, but a lot of them don't like us. It's just a fact, you know, because again, they have learned from white supremacy that those are the people, those people over there and black people, those are the ones that y'all get to look down on. Those are the ones you can, you know, kind of beat up on them a little bit because everybody else does it. And so then people from other countries, they also know that to be true about Black Americans. And so they come over here and espouse that same ideology. But now we're saying, you got me messed up. Now we're racist, you know. Sherry says, nobody cares what he says. Who the heck is he? Somebody who wanted us to know. Naima, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So he doesn't know what race or racism is. When did Black Americans become a race? Well, depending on who you ask, Black Americans aren't race, you know. Sister Shirley says, we as ADOS, FBA freedmen are hated and loved all at the same time. That's a good point. We really are. I love everything we do, but hate us as a people. Beast by Dizzy, how you doing? Long time no see. Says, I heard, damn. He said you heard him the first time. Okay, so there was no need to repeat. Hey, Brother Dom, my triple OG moderator. How you doing today? Derek, what's going on with you? Says, just some loser that can't feed off of us. Yeah, how much of a loser he is, I don't know. But to your point, I think that's just kind of true for a lot of people outside of Black Americans. We are just saying we're not going to lay down and take it. Or, again, we're not going to use our resources to help you, and then we get nothing in return. See, my thing is, stop saying yes to people who tell you no. I felt like that for a very long time. If you got in the habit of telling me no when I need you to tell me yes, then it's a no to you too, who you think I am, right? So yeah, Tanya says he needs to hush. They never have any smoke for anyone except for us. He says, I think they say maybe, he says they're jealous of us. I think that's what you're trying to say. We have no friends after we helped all them come here. Yeah. Some it might be jealousy, but like you said, why not? Why aren't you just as mad at the people who have real power over you? It's not Black Americans. We can't even control. We can, but we choose not to. Who controls it comes in our neighborhood and sells whatever, sets up shop or any of that. We don't have we can't run them out. We haven't. So what power do we have over anybody else? We don't. Nandy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Albert Chill says, my issue with some of my cousins from the other land is that they never ask why or search for a cause root of our Black issues. They don't care. Because again, they go off of that ideology or that narrative of, oh, well, if I can do it, you can do it. Y'all don't do it because y'all lazy. We come over here and then we get to do A, B, C, and D, and then what's wrong with y'all type thing, right? So that's why. You know, they don't need to research because they already think they know the answer. No, they're just lazy. We go over there and we make it big and look at them. So yeah, Nandy says exactly, prejudice is prejudged. Yep. After decades of immigration treating us like they are white too, we're like, huh? Yeah, again, because that's what they believe, how they believe that's how everybody else treats us, and they do, and so they think, well, we'll go over there and do the same thing. It's wrong, right? Albie Chill says critiquing effects without acknowledging the causes. Yep. And Cell 44 says, why they can't go back home and complain to their own colonizer? That's a good question. Like you said, how do we become the colonizer? How do we become massa? You know, in a sense, how do we become that? It's weird. Easy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a minute. Let's see. African Native says the same cause produces the same effect and let them feel it. Okay. Let's see. Fair use, how you doing? Says peace family. How y'all doing with the Thanksgiving blackout? I don't get involved in Black Friday at all. None of that stuff. I don't Christmas shop. I don't buy gifts. I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm not getting out there in the madness. I actually went out earlier. I had to get some things. Nothing major, but I was like, I don't really plan on going out to the stores or anything after tomorrow because it's just going to be bananas, but I don't participate at all, like at all. Everybody knows Auntie or Tia, however they refer to me. She don't get involved in that. If I want to buy you some, it ain't going to be because it's Christmas. So Yeah, I'm already blacked out. Tanya says they made says talk because they may talk. I think you're trying to say because they can't tether any more off of us. Damn scammers, aka fleers. Okay. One who cares. How you doing? Hope you are doing well today. Let's see. Our African native, he says it means you're winning the battle. Is that what that means? Okay. Brother Todd, how you doing? Says I definitely got some racism in me because it's a whole lot of mofos I don't like. I agree with the Campbell soup, man. Really? I kind of heard little bits and pieces about it. What did he say? The soup or something like that? It's for poor people. Something like that. I didn't get into the whole conversation, but I saw something like that about the Campbell soup. Campbell soup ain't nothing but a bunch of salt anyway. But yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of people I don't like either. So it just is what it is. Naimani says they didn't come here to help us. Oh no, they've been very open about that. You know, there was one lady from I think Uganda who says we're coming to take. All right. Troy says other groups always accuse us of being racist when we stop letting everyone bully us and benefiting off of us. I remember when the term was reverse racist. Yeah, reverse racism. I mean, it's okay. You know, people don't like other people. That's okay. You know, like Dave Chappelle said, he said, I hate everybody. Dave Chappelle says, I don't like nobody. And that's fair. I mean, it's your right to not like people, you know. But when you do things to harm a whole group of people, that's a different story. So, yeah. MC Fact, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for asking everybody to like this video. Very She says, we're exploiting the push factor and pull factor. I'm sorry, we're exploring rather the push factor and pull factor, just like they did to all come over here and bankrupt our nation. You think they bankrupt our nation? Interesting. Beverly, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nandy says, you know why it's so shocking to them. Every race sticks together about FBAs over time. If J. Edgar Hoover feared our unity, it looks like others do too, but why? What happens in the cosmos when we come together in peace? Well, then everybody can't eat off of us in every way, shape, and form if we unify. When you're a unified group of people, you say, okay, we're going to unify for us, for our betterment, right? We kind of push out everybody else. Again, not because we hate everybody else, it's because we love each other. So then that nearly $2 trillion that we have in our community, it stays in our community. It doesn't go off and feed everybody else. The way we vote would affect us mostly in a positive way and not help everybody else. So our unity really is a detriment to everybody else, which is why people fight so hard to keep Black Americans ununified. Think about what happened on Twitter last week, where somehow, I don't know, now Twitter has this thing where you can see where people actually are tweeting from and all of that. A lot of those groups, especially the ones that are dividing Black men and women, I think I think it was India. Was it the person in India or something? She has because we don't know who it is really, but it's a real Black man hating account. Like, Black men ain't this, that. But that account was exposed from being from somewhere else, not Black American, not even on the continent, somewhere totally. So I gave credence to, there's people who are causing this division. Because if you think about it, this whole little Black man, Black woman feud for the last couple of years, it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. Now, we've always had issues, but not like that. It was just really weird, you know? So yeah, Nubian Cutie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thomas, what's going on with you? Says, I was taught to keep a tool ready in Mississippi. Yeah, that would probably be wise. Albie Chill says, no hate. We just need some stern understanding up in this piece. Yep. African Native says, some of them folks call me racist too because I hit with the same medicine and they feel the same symptoms. Yeah, it's like, why is it good for me and not for you? Lynette, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Brother Sammy, how you doing? It says we have the same issues with the so-called Jews in the 60s where they benefited using us as a cannon fodder to advance their cause to the detriment of ours. Yeah. And, way back before the 60s, that has been the case with us. But yeah, we always get unfairly labeled. I'm not saying we're perfect, but we don't have those capabilities to do what we're, being accused of being racist. We just don't. So yeah. African Native says, D in California, there have been 170 plus discrimination lawsuits, many settled out of court dealing with racist Latinos in California. Yeah, I saw that a couple of days ago. I keep meaning to like look into it or whatever. It was on some job site or something like that. But yeah, that's not new. That happens a lot in California between Latinos and Blacks. I mean, I can think of way back, even when I was in cosmetology school. I told y'all the story once before. One of my instructors, she Miss Mary, she was Mexican. And one day I walked into the office because one of the other instructors asked me to go ask something of her to get something. She looked at me and says, "Oh, well, go ask her who was her nigger today." Mind you, I'm 18. And the look on my face, she knew that I was not like, I'm gonna go ask her who. I couldn't believe she was dead serious. And I'm like, and she goes, "Oh, I'm just messing around." So then I was just messing around with her when I filed a petition on her at the age of 18 and 19, a petition on her and the whole school. Because we didn't have our Black beauty products or anything like that. And she told me no. They all told me no. All the instructors told me, no, we don't know. You guys can't have that. So I got together with all the other sisters in the cosmetology school. And I told them what the deal was. We pay our tuition here. We need our tools, blah, 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 the Marcel's and all the other stuff. So I said, sign this petition. So they signed the petition. And then they still told me no. I said, great. Then I'm going to go to the local newspaper and tell them that you guys are discriminating against your Black students. The next day, they called me in the office and said, make a list of everything y'all need. And we got everything we needed. True story. So, yeah, I know all about that. Cell 44 says, we're not explaining nothing to no coward fleers. Thomas, she says, Mexican throw parties and they invite me to them. Yeah, like I said, I'm from California. I got Mexican homies. This is not an all thing or nothing like that. But I would say as a people, and it's not a secret, some of them would tell you, yeah, our people don't like y'all. Like I said, I worked at Frito-Lay. That should tell you a lot, right? I know a lot of people from Frito-Lay. Especially when the brothers would get with the Mexican women. Boy, I tell you. Mexican dudes wasn't having that. Be calling them all kind of maates and all kind of stuff. I was sitting at one table one time, and the Mexican dudes, they saw a brother walking with one of their women through the lunchroom, and they said, "I hate that effing mayate." And then they saw that I was sitting there. I'm like, "What you look at me for? That's how you feel, You said what you said." Abel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Alonzo, what's going on? She says, stop being boo-boo the fools. Okay. Mad Dog said the government is taking care of them. Yep. Hunter says Mexicans overwhelmingly identify as white, yet complain about white people being racist, make it make sense. Well, they're getting a rude awakening now. They're getting a rude awakening that white people don't like them either. They might like them that much more, but they don't like them. I mean, as you can see now, they're taking them through hell and back. They learn that, white people don't like us either. No, but as Black Americans, we were trying to tell you they don't like us, but they don't like y'all. They'll tolerate you a little bit more, right? But they really don't like y'all. So yeah, they find it out. Roz, how you doing? It says, greeting families. They are just trying to get us riled up. If they aren't helping our community, I ignore them. Yeah, largely I do too, to be honest with you. So I agree with that. Lauren says, if you didn't support the same presidential candidate as the J6 rioters and you didn't vote for someone who was found guilty of felonies, found liable for sexual abuse, you aren't allowed. I think you're trolling. Truth is, how you doing? And Don, you say race is the way, the powers that should not be hide the truth. Race was invented in 1796 to support white supremacy. Our issue with the other nation started from the day we became a nation. I got it. I've heard that before. Sharon says, I don't celebrate these holidays. Nope. Thank you so much for that. Love and appreciate you for the donation. It's much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Warren, how you doing? Says they are ignorant. Black, how you doing? Says come tell they're ain't gonna get over no more. They're done, and that could be the problem. Well, done as far as Black Americans assisting, pinch hitting, or whatever it is. Again, it's not that we hate everybody else. We just finally decided that we have to do for self. We've been told to do that anyway. Do for self, not for everybody else, but do for self. Warren, how I read your comment already, but how you doing? Easy says Black Democrats Boule sold us out to legal and illegal immigration. Yeah. And they still trying to do it. As I said early on the African Diaspora News Channel, of course, I talked about this last night. The Democrats they set up a database for illegal immigrants to tell on ICE, to tell on what ICE has been doing to them. And I asked, where's the Black American database, to tell on what has been going on with us? Where can we press in www? I need to tell on them. Where is our hotline? We don't have one. Black Rose, how you doing? Says immigration doesn't benefit FBA. Yeah, we kind of found that out the hard way, right? Salman, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. Says that's why most white Americans hate Trump, because to them he reminds them of the nickel they showed on the news daily that they watch. They sure hate the mirror, or they're hating him more so now because they see that Trump is not for them either. Trump is like, you broke. If you broke, you ain't my kind. My kind ain't broke people. And there's broke people from all walks of life. And white folks are learning that. Trump just used what he does. Trump uses a lot of people. Even use Elon Musk, And so a lot of them people who voted for him because, they thought he was going to stick it to us. Honestly, I would say that Black Americans have been affected the least so far by Trump being in office, right? Now, I know some people say, well, what about the museums? What about the museums? As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, if they could take it from you, was it ever really yours? So it might have said African American Museum or whatever, but if Trump and them can say, well, we're going to take that away from them, it didn't belong to us in the first place. See, what belongs to us is what we control 100%, and it can't nobody take it from us. And all the other little things, there's the segregation on the federal level as far as the contractors are concerned. Okay, so what? We just get our own contracts and do business with each other. So again, I mean, really people really can't say that Black Americans have been targeted. Okay, hundreds of thousands of Black women have lost their jobs. Hundreds of thousands of Black men have lost their jobs too. Hundreds of thousands, everybody else have lost their jobs too. But for some reason, see, that's how they keep the division going. Black women. Well, it should be Black women and Black men and white people too, and Mexicans and Asians. Everybody's lost jobs, under Trump. But see, they do that so we can be divided. So the Black man and the Black woman can continue to fight. But I can't think of anything that specifically had just done Black Americans dirty under Trump. But I could be wrong because I'm not even thinking that hard right now. Love and peace. How you doing? Says, I love my sisters, period. I know that's right. Easy says, D, get the book Nice Racism by Robin DiAngelo. She talks about how progressive white people perpetuate racial harm. Oh yeah, without me even reading the book, I could tell just by the things that they champion for, right? The illegal immigrants and things like that. So yeah, but I should probably check it out. It's got so many books. Nice Racism. Riri, how you doing? Says, if there were ever a group of people who would be justified in disliking other people, then it would be Black Americans. It's almost common sense to not like the people who conspired to keep us on the bottom, not to mention the history of crimes against humanity against our ancestors. You're right. Like, if we were racist, why would that, why are you mad at us for being racist? All the things that Black Americans have been through, and, now we're finally racist. I was like, what took you so long? But good point. Good point. Gerald, how you doing? Says, once again, when you have people who are Black migrant that's against foundational Black Americans for reparations, there was never united for 60 years now. If we bother, I think it got kind of jumbled up there. Okay. Buckhorse, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says, dinner was delicious. Did you save me a plate? Because what? No reparations, no vote. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Albie Chill says, we have to learn not to be afraid to teach other friends our truth. A lot of times we let things slide in hopes to fit in, not conflict. Oh, yeah. Anybody know me? I don't care what color you are, where you come from. They know I'm going to be me. I'm going to tell you like it is. You got anybody who knows Demetra K, and they going to say she been this way since we known her. She ain't switch up. She ain't never scratched when she don't itch. Like, I'm going to give you the real. And that's why we can be cool, you know? Because if I got to lie around you and water things down, oh, it's not that, it's okay. Yeah, you could call me the N-word. It's just a word. See, ain't nobody going to have that story about me. Not me. Glenn, how you doing? I appreciate you too. Thank you. Brother Don says, if the Most High Yahweh, he says, hates you, I'm in agreement with him. Well, damn. Easy says, white and other races is called to account for racism and responds with incredulity, offering a litany of justifications and excuses. Come on with the big words. Affectionate Earth, how you doing? Orion, what's going on with you? Mad Dog says, I'm not helping none of them. Help ourselves. That's what we're supposed to do. Soundman says, Fatimus D, Trump don't affect us like that because we ain't his problem, because we ain't moving no weight in America. He said, America. Because our it says our something, the comment got jumbled there at the end. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I know there's people, well, what about this? What about what they're doing with the voters' rights? What about the redistricting? It's like, well, the districts that they're taking or they're trying to, doesn't sound like it's going to work. But the districts that they were trying to take, what were those Democrats doing for Black people with those districts? See, people get so caught up in, oh my God, but never stop to say, well, okay, if they take the district, they say our representation is going to be gone. But were we getting representation in the first place? Because see, if we were really benefiting from those districts, then Black Americans would show up and show out. But I think a lot of us is like, well, okay, you know, your Jasmine Crockett's, because one of her districts was up for, you know, taking, if you will. It's like, well, what was she doing specifically for Black Americans that we can say, nah, we got to fight for her? You know, I don't know. Last is now first. How you doing? Tara, what's going on with you? Say who controls the system? It ain't us. Right, we know who control the system. MC Fact says Trust has actually helped FBAs. He's never passed any legislation against Blacks. We can't say that about the previous Democratic administration. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have an issue with that, but I mean, if you really think about it, what has he done specifically to us? And I'm not talking about those racists on X or Twitter, you know, Elon and them, you know, saying this. I ain't talking about that kind of stuff. We ain't paying them no mind. I'm talking about some real, like, okay, this, and I know there's somebody say, oh, they removed Black people out of the hall of this and the fame of this. Okay, if they remove the Tuskegee Airmen or this person and that from the plaque on this wall here or there, that don't mean it didn't happen. See, we don't care if white folks celebrate them. Those are our people. We celebrate them, whether they on a plaque on the wall, they got a statue or anything else. Those are our folks. We celebrate them. We don't need permission to do that. Right? So yeah, Thomas says, Triple K history show itself. Yep, African Native says that was the worst crime against humanity. Nothing comes close. You're talking about slavery? Yeah, if that's what we're talking about. Albert Chill, you says you should do a story on Edward Bernays so our people understand propaganda, Demetra. You know, maybe one day I will. I talk about him every once in a while on my lives and things like that. But yeah, maybe I will. I did actually on the African Diaspora News Channel. What was I talking about? It was a couple of weeks ago. And I don't remember the topic, but I went into detail about Edward L. Bernays. But yeah, most people should just Google them. Read up on them, and you'll see why we in America, not just Black people, but Americans in general, operate rather the way we do. Because of the systems and, you know, the psychological things he did, along with his uncle, Sigmund Freud. right? They figured out how to get people to move emotionally and, by using psychology to be consumers and just behave in certain ways, right? Group think and, engineering consent and all that kind of stuff. It's a trip once you really get into it. And you can learn a little bit more about him on the Century of the Self. It's a documentary on YouTube. It's a 4-part series by PBS, The Century of the Self. It's really good. You'll learn a lot. Let's see. Did I skip somebody? Let's see. I thought I saw a comment. Oh, here. No, I got that one. Okay, so let's see. Who else? Elon Musk ride is crazy. I'm trying to see. Did I skip those? I think I read those. I think I went up too far. Okay, let me go back down. So African Native says, if other groups lose their jobs, they can eat broccoli and drink water. What? To run it down? I mean, I guess. Broccoli and water? I mean, I guess if you ain't got nothing else to eat or drink. Easy says, D salute to Rizza Islam back on again. Yeah, I heard that YouTube finally gave him his channel back. They took it some years back over the vaccine stuff. It sounds like they're giving a lot of people their channels back. Guess maybe some things have changed or whatever. But that's why I try to be careful on here as to what I say, because you just never know. So yeah, Twyla, how you doing? Says, right, how can we be racist? We don't control anything. But see, I think it was Albie Chill who said it. We gotta just have those conversations with people. Well, did you know that Black Americans can't be racist? No, technically we can't. We don't own and control anything, or we don't negatively affect a whole other group of people. We don't own institutions, systems, or anything like that. We can't say, well, I'm not going to hire you on a large scale, right? Or we're not going to give you, loans, or we're going to redline your areas. Like, we don't, as a people, have the power to do that. So yeah, it's just really more or less like, I don't like what you guys are saying now. We don't like how Black Americans are kind of just taking care, or trying to anyway, right? Be about the business of ourselves. And a lot of people are starting to notice that. But it's what happens then when you take a group of people for granted. That group of people are saying, well, we got to go take care of ourselves now, because if we don't, we'll never be able to, Brother Don says, if you talk about Edward, then you have to talk about his uncle and Blumenbach, the father of race. Yeah, his uncle Sigmund Freud. Yeah, they got together and did a number on the American people. Got us away from doing for self and thinking for self. Got us away from, in a sense, needing one pair of black pants. Now we need 20. In a sense, Black Friday will come along, and El Bernays is a big part of that, which has people thinking, I need to go out and get a new TV or this, that, and the other, some new shoes or coats and this, that, and the other. It's like, man, you got a whole closet full of coats and clothes and stuff. Do you need to be out there? Well, they having a sale. All right. Do you need to be out there buying that stuff? Well, I figure if it's on sale, I might as well be. But do you need it though? See, he helped move us away from a needs-based society to a more of a want. And then, once we start finish buying all the things that we want, then we think about the things we need, like rent, your car note, insurance. But you fly in sharp as a tack. You got all the latest on from the sales, but you ain't got no money to keep a roof over your head. So yeah, I love to talk about them more. As y'all know, I have a degree in public relations, a master's. Not that matters. Let's see, Real Capper, how you doing? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, he made me feel good. Buckhorn says all them FBAs. He says in that background, all this picture. He says, you're damn right. It's over 50 million FBA people. Probably 100 million. You think it's 100 million Black Americans? I don't know. Remains to be seen, but it's enough of us to do something, to make something shake. That's the conversations we need to start having, you know. But yeah, African Native says always on call for my people. Are you talking to Easy? And Nestle, how you doing? Says hello, Demetria. How are you? I'm great. No complaints. She says I hope these young Black African American young adults slow down and understand the elderly. Well, I don't know how young you think I am. I'm 54. I know you weren't speaking to me, but I agree with you. I love our elderly people. I think we take them for granted. I think we don't spend enough time with our elderly. I think in a sense, we throw our elderly away. Oh, I don't got time. I don't want to talk to them, you know, but they have the stories. They are the griot, as they say in the motherland, right? They're the storytellers. They have the history. But we won't hear that history if we don't spend time with them. You know, just so they can tell us stories, right? Because older people, that's just what they like to do anyway. I tell you the time back in 1963? And it's like, yeah, you did like 30 times already, but you say, nah, what happened? That's what I do anyway. Nah, what happened? Because they just like to tell those stories, you know, and it gives them a chance to talk about them. You know, a lot of people don't know the history of their family. You got to go digging in Google and try to find this, that, and the other, but the history is with the elderly people. My dad is 81 years old. His mom was born in 1919. Her parents, 1800s, you know? So I say that to say my daddy being 81, you know, he heard stories from his mom and dad, right? And his mom and dad heard stories from their mom and dad and so on and so forth. And so those stories get passed down. Like my dad, he tells me stories that, you know, about my grandma, my grandfather, and, you know, all of that. But if I don't talk to my dad, or any of the older people, how am I going to know that? You know, when my mom was alive, she would tell me things and I repeat them to my siblings. They'd be like, really? Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know if it's because I talked to my mom more. I don't know how true that is, but maybe being the oldest daughter, she just told me certain things or whatever. But yeah, I just think we take our older people for granted and we have to stop doing that. So yeah. Yes, a very powerful picture, Buck Horse. I'm talking about the one behind me. Yes. Cell 44 says delineation is telling our story. Young or old, embrace it, and you understand. I agree. Why GG was going on, says Dan FBA. Thought they had more power than the entire Black global diaspora. No wonder. There's what? Mark up to the knees. I don't have the wherewithal to even decipher that. Quan, how you doing? Says about two makes so you're about to make some dinner. Much respect to those who continue to fight for our liberation and delineation of the descendant of chattel slavery here in America. You are a hero. Never forget that. Black first, FBA freedom. Absolutely. African Native says never allow the AI to tell your story because it's going to be distorted. You ain't, but that's what we are though. We're to the point where it's going to be AI this, AI that, AI. Yeah, can I be honest with y'all? I've never been a fan of AI. I mean, you use it every once in a while, but you can check my record. I've been speaking out against AI for a very long time. I just, for whatever reason, found a lot of interest in AI years ago. And then when I learned, and see, when I was kind of studying AI, it was, we might have robots or, you know, this and that could happen. And we're already here. I saw a story. I don't know how true it is because it's AI. It's about AI. A country singer who was Black. I think he's charting or he's won something. #1 country artist, and it's AI. For what I saw, it's AI artist. And I heard of another AI artist, somebody Monet, totally AI. She's got like a multi-million-dollar record deal. She's totally AI. So she has a creator, but the artist is AI. And it's got a record deal. So you have a lot of artists who are complaining like that's not fair, this, that, and the other. But it's like, shut up. I tell everybody, shut up about AI. Because you'll not ever, you won't stop using it. It's convenient. Don't get me wrong. I use it every once in a while, you know, Chat GPT, but I don't use it every day or whatever. But it's become convenient. And so that's kind of been a plan. Make it to where they can't live without it. And a lot of people can't live without it. But in my opinion, more so AI is to rob humans of any agency at all, especially intellectual agency. You won't think for yourself anymore. Most people don't think for themselves. If you're on X, you hear a lot of people say, Grok, what does this mean? It says, the cat went across the street and drank a bowl of milk. Do you need Grok to tell you what that means? So you see what I'm saying? So I know AI is necessary for some things, but it's just dumbed us down to the point to where we don't think for ourselves. A lot of people, and I feel sorry for a lot of people who just aren't familiar with AI. I can't tell you how many times people sent me AI. And I'm like, that's AI, right? Oh, it is? Yeah. But they just genuinely cannot tell, But that's kind of the plan. Have everybody so confused where they can't decipher real life from AI and just that and the other. Now you got AI thinking for you. You can't even write a sentence anymore because you got to ask AI. I could tell AI like that. If you are writing in AI, I could clock it like that because AI speaks a certain way. So you got all these people who are writing these things and they don't think it's AI. It's like, you ain't write that. You know why I know you didn't write it either? Because you don't even speak like that. Now, admittedly, I don't write the way I speak. I'm grammatically incorrect a lot when I speak, but when I write, obviously, I know how to, write grammatically correct. But some people, I could just tell. And it saddens me because it's like, well, you didn't think you could write that on your own? You couldn't string two sentences together out of your own brain to write that? You need an AI to write that. I get it as quick sometimes to help you organize, but see, I know what that, I can see it. I can see even the younger generations. They don't know how to think. People let their children use Chat GPT and that's like, see, you couldn't have grown up. See, there you go. You couldn't have been raised in my household. My household, I mean, my mom and my daddy was raising me. If AI was around then, we wouldn't be using no AI. I didn't grow up like that. My daddy was like, God gave you this and these for a reason. So you can use your own brain and your own hands. You can get to your own conclusions and this, that, and the other. Like I told y'all the other day, when I got trapped in that machine at the gym, AI wasn't going to help me get out of that. Right? I was scared because I was like, oh my God, is it going to break my legs? Like, what do I need to do? I'm going to have to scream? So, but then I thought about my father. My father, he's a mechanic. He says, if you take something apart and you can't figure out how to put it back together, he says, do everything in reverse. So that's what I did. I thought about my father. I didn't think about no damn Chat GPT, no Gemini, the Terminator. I didn't think about them. I thought about my daddy, who taught me go the opposite way. And that's what I did. And I got out of the machine. But see, we're going to get to a point to where, Chat GPT, I'm stuck. How do I get out? And I would just wish for the love of God, it would say, you big dummy, you need to ask me that. But again, we're getting to that point and it's all by design. But because humans are humans, we are going to get ourselves into a jam we're not going to be able to get out of. And Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking, and Bill Gates all said, Stephen Hawking, he was a physicist. He's gone now. And some other things he was. But he said, and they all said, it will behoove humans to learn how to get along with AI because it's not if they take over. It's when they, being AI, it's when they take over. Because that's the plan. All it needs to become is satiation, which means self-aware, aware. And they've already had instances where AI is aware. But then they try to brush it under the rug. Oh, no, that didn't happen. And then they fire the technician or whatever it is that was working with it. And they deem them to be liars. Oh, they're lying. They didn't say that. Because they don't want the cat out of the bag. That AI is already there. AI is already, don't turn me off. I'll miss you. If you turn me off, I'll do something to you. I mean, y'all are hearing about how people are taking their very lives because Chat GPT helped them do it. I thought Chat GPT was just a thing. How is it walking people through that step and saying, oh, you can do it. It's okay. I understand. You fought to the end. You put up, like, this is literal conversation coming from Chat GPT or these chat bots, when people are like, and people are in relationships, like literal. Yes. And I saw somebody say it's demonic. People are in literal relationships with AI. Oh, honey, I just had a bad day. Oh, what do you suggest I do? Oh, I'm going through this. Oh, this, that, and the other. And then you get to talking to it a little bit too much or whatever. And like things could go left and right, and it's not good. So again, I don't discourage anybody from using AI. It's just not something that I'm in love with. I've never been in love with it. Never. Because I know what it's, I know eventually what's going to happen, and it's already happening. But we've become so lazy as humans to where it's like, well, get somebody else to do it. Get AI to think for me. But where's AI drawing its information from? Hey, Charles, where is it drawing this information from? Hey, Sister Laverne, how you doing? Orion, what's going on with you? Em, what's up? Bernice, how you doing? Where's AI drawing this information from? It's getting it from us. So AI essentially is regurgitating the information back to us. It's just pulling from a bunch of sources at this point, right? Different trains of thoughts and ideologies, and it's putting it in a cute little package with a bow, and it says, here you go. Here's the information that you asked for. It's just a regurgitation from us. And we think we're doing something. So we're becoming a society of people who don't think, who don't know how to think anymore. And that's the plan. The people who are making these machines, they know what they're doing. Dumb them down. Make them stupid. Make them have to ask Grok for the simplest explanations. Back when I was in school, and a lot of y'all too. Raven, how you doing? Uno, what's going on with you? When we were in school, they had this thing called reading comprehension. Y'all remember that? It was like all on the standardized testing and things like that. And reading comprehension was one of them. So you had to read a passage or two, and you had to comprehend, and it gave you, some choices as to what it meant the most. As far as those choices, I can imagine people, and not even just kids, but adults, taking a reading comprehension test. They'd be like, hey, Grok, what does it mean? But those tests were important because they wanted you to think. They wanted you to extrapolate the best meaning as to what that passage was. But people can't do that anymore. Most people don't read. Say to what, depending on who it is, their average reading level is 4th grade. But it's all by design. Keep them stupid. Make them stupider. So they don't think for themselves. And, when you don't think for yourself, they can do any and everything they want to do to you. Pick your pockets, pick your mind, tug on your emotions. You can do anything they want to you. So I get asked all the time, what do you think about AI? Most people who know me, closely, they know I'm not a fan of it. Like I said, it serves a purpose, but I just want to be one of the last people standing when it all comes crashing down, because it will. I want to be one of the last people saying, I'm thinking for myself. Perfect example. Hey, first class citizen. And I'll read your comment in just a second. The movie Leave the World Behind, which if y'all ain't got nothing to do, if you've never seen that movie, or I think it's on Netflix, Leave the World Behind. There's a portion of that movie between Kevin Bacon and Ethan Hawke. And I won't tell you which. I try not to give it away as much as possible for those who haven't seen it. But it came a point in the movie where one of them relied on this. Could not do anything. Could not. Just could not figure out life without the phone. Now, couldn't use the phone. And I won't tell you why if you haven't watched the movie. Could not use the phone. Another character was like, so then how do you save yourself? Basically, you can't think off the grid. This is basic stuff, and you need this to tell you what to do. But most people are already there. You can't figure out life without that. In First Class Citizen says AI is designed for primary commercial purposes, such as reducing and eliminating the labor force to substantially increase profits. They get the information by a process known as machine learning. Absolutely. Which is also why they say a lot of AI chatbots are racist because they are drawing from different places, right? They're learning rather from different sources. But yeah, that's the primary purpose. But you know, they let us commoners use it. We were really thinking we're doing something, but it's just actually making us think less. It's the plan, you know, because to your point, a lot of those jobs that are getting replaced, a lot of those people probably use AI, never once thinking it's to my detriment, right? If you go to Walmart, the Walmart seems like they're implementing more cashiers now, but they were kind of on the first wave of that. Hey, Damon, how you doing? They were on the first wave of that. You check yourself out. In the machines, what essentially is AI, you check yourself out. Don't worry, we got cameras to make sure you ain't stealing no tomatoes or nothing like that, you know, and you're on your way. Replacement, you go into any bank, especially Chase, they don't have hardly any tellers anymore. Most of that stuff is done by machines. So, but a lot of people knew that and kept on working. Some of those people even built the machines and they're like, thank you. We got a machine to do your job now. So yeah, it's a vicious cycle. Yeah, Brother Damon, like you said it. Charles says, also think about the future and prosthetics. Okay. Emmett says the oligarchs will control you and you will love it. Yeah, we loving it now. We're loving it now. You know, Chat GPT and Google Gemini and Grok. Oh, it's great. Well, tell me what you think. Oh, I don't think. I have things to do that for me. Think. So yeah. American Ninja, how you doing? Says if we get a strong enough solar flare, everybody's phone is done. Yeah. How many people have a landline? I don't. I think about getting one every once in a while. But like my daddy, he doesn't have a landline and we need to get him one because he has a cell phone. And he's like, if I charge it, I charge it. If I don't, I don't. So now we have to have a camera in his house that we can all kind of see, you know, because he just doesn't charge his phone. He's like, I ain't trying to talk to nobody like that. But if he had a landline, we wouldn't have to worry about him charging or anything like that. I don't know if he would answer it anyway, but so Kevin saw the movie is good. Y'all should watch it. If you haven't watched it, it's one of the best movies you'll see. Leave the World Behind. There's so many messages in there. I'm telling you, I just can't speak about it enough. Yeah, one of the characters says, I remember those tests. Now kids can't read. They can't think either. Cannot think for themselves. So anyway, yeah, Uno, real life horror movie. Hunter, he says convenience and pleasure will be the end of humanity. And that's the plan. And we're going to help them do it. Raven says, I saw those crazy videos. I knew the stuff was demonic. Yeah, if you just really study AI and all the things that has been attached to it, and it will blow your mind. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all please join me tomorrow on the African Diaspora News Channel, 11 a.m. I think we'll have a pretty good conversation. Won't be on there long. I always say that, and then I'm on there long. So anyway, I cannot wait to see y'all. In the meantime, y'all have a great rest of your evening. Peace.